Hello everyone, I am Vishakha and you are watching the Unfiltered series where we will be calling in principals of various esteemed institutions and schools and they will be talking us about the changing scenarios and various topics related to the world of education. And today, I'm feeling very proud and privileged to have with me Ma'am NEELAM Bhardwaj, Principal Sanskar School, Jaipur. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you for agreeing on doing this. You are our very first guest, our lucky charm as always.
Very good morning, Vishakha. Namaskar, everyone.
Ma'am, today we decided to talk on social media. So we will be weighing it pros and cons, and we'll try to understand that whether it's a boon or a bane. Ma'am, to start on with, social networking sites and social media has not only reshaped communication industry but has also redefined the ways in which we communicate and express. But a lot of times we face a serious problem, which is the spread of misinformation through social networking sites, especially amidst teenagers spreading rumors about their fellow mates or denouncing someone on social media is quite a common thing. As a principal, ma'am, I want to know, how do you think that the students should deal with it?
It's difficult. If I say, definitely it is difficult for teenagers, for young students, but now everyone is using social media.
Yes.
I would like to begin by saying that now we don't have a choice whether we want to use social media or not. But the question is how we use it. That is really, really important. You know, spreading rumor is a way to turn someone against you. I would call it is a form of bullying. In this situation, a teenager or even a young child needs to talk to someone. And having said that, needs to talk to someone. In schools, we have counselors for that. And at home, definitely, children should talk to parents, and parents should make themselves, make approachable. That is the need of the hour. Because
Right.
if a child gets, help from an adult, and adult takes, corrective steps to sort out the problem, then child feels secure and safe. And, he feels more confident in using this social media.
Of course.
And above all, at school, I think our responsibilities are more. So we try and, lay focus on being truthful. So we try to teach students that it is really very, very important to be truthful, even in this virtual world.
Right. Ma'am, you also talked about the role of parents here. Uh, Ma'am, while many users feel that their personal data is safe on social networking sites because, of course, they have set high levels of security settings, but research
Right.
suggests that this is not the case. And now, in these tough times when we are literally forced to bend our knees in front of virtual means, what precautions do you think, ma'am, a parent should take while registering on platforms like Google Classrooms or Zoom?
While registering on a platform like Google Meet and Zoom, parents should keep in mind that though they are great tools, but children should use these tools somewhere near enough where they can monitor them. Yet, some privacy also should be given to them to concentrate on their work. If we talk about very little children age of 4, 5, 6, definitely parents need to sit with them to observe them. And sometimes, children don't know how to use. Well, I would like to take my words back here that I said that children don't know, because we should not underestimate our young ones also. Our children are very techno savvy. But
Right,
still,
ma'am.
I think, at this age, they need parents' observation. But for older kids, I think they should be taught video conferencing etiquettes, including muting when they are not speaking, not using the chat function, and especially not downloading the files via Zoom or Google Meet.
Right.
And children should be, taught to keep, not to use these platforms for private messages. And
Right.
Vishaka, I think if we made aware, the drawbacks of these kinds of platform to our children, and if we teach them that they should keep their personal information away from prying eyes, these platforms should be quite safe to use.
Right. Ma'am, you talked about the addiction of children and how they have become so much techno savvy. So, ma'am, addiction to social media also results in a number of negative health impacts such as strain, eye problems, fatigue, distraction, etc. When you see 6 to 7 years old children on platforms like Facebook or Instagram, does it trouble you, or do you see it as a new normal?
Internet used by 5-6-year-old child. Vishaka, I would say that internet for long has been perceived as a dark and dangerous place where, threats of all kinds are waiting for these young children.
Yes.
Now I think real challenge is not that these little ones using internet or social media, but real challenge, is to empower children and even adolescent how to use these platforms in productive and innovative way. And if we talk about, disappearance of childhood, so I would say that potential danger is no longer childhood's disappearance, but the possibility of perpetual childhood. I hope you would agree with me.
I think yeah, it's a great perspective, ma'am. I mean, it's a great way to see things in altogether a different light.
And sorry to interrupt you,
No, not at
but
all.
these social media and new gadgets are here to stay. So the quicker we accept their presence in our life, the better it is.
So, ma'am, you talked about that how students they have become so techno savvy and how they have got used to all these new age gadgets. Ma'am, my question to you is that do you think social media and all these new age gadgets they are somewhere down the line taking away the innocence from the kids and also exposing them to the information which might not be age appropriate for few?
Vishakha, here I would like to mention that with the advent of the virtual world, challenges have definitely seeped in, right? And if we talk about augmented and virtual reality, children are the first one to be attracted by these things.
Yeah.
And if we talk about virtual games like Pokemon Go and Snapchat filters, they definitely took the world of children by storm.
Yes.
And it is, I would say, impossible. Yes, I would use the word impossible word here, that it is impossible for us to separate, our children from this new experience. But again, I would say that innocence is an innate feature in children, and it cannot be lost if we as parents and teachers in school, counselors, we are always watchful.
Right.
So we have to embrace this changing world with the positive and negative aspect.
Right, and this reminds me. Once I was taking this class of English, grade two it was, I believe, and they had to write a letter to Santa where they have to list out their wishes, what they want for Christmas, and the thing that shocked me was that 90% of the class wrote that they need iPads and all these PSPs. I mean, none of them they like they need a vacation with their parents or they need to go out. It was mostly related to gadgets. I mean, they're so obsessed.
So, like I said, that it is difficult. It is really difficult to keep them away, from these things, and we should not. The only thing is that our responsibility, is increasing, and, we adult, we should not run away from our responsibilities to deprive our children from these things.
Right, right, ma'am. Ma'am, with proliferation of social media, the average attention span of humans have reduced to 8 seconds, and the situation is graver for millennials. Don't you think that it has an adverse effect on the prevailing education system, like with the ongoing online classes, especially on the minds of pre-primary kids?
Um, Vishakha, um, during this COVID-19, we don't have any other option but to have online classes. Yes, definitely. Online classes can surely not replace the in school method of teaching, wherein a child is converted by mere sight of his or her teacher. Yet I think it has been observed that even the online classes also have their benefits. What I think here is the requirement of, healthy family media user plan that is individualized for a specific child or a teenager. So here is once again, I would talk about the requirement of appropriate balance between screen time, online time. And when I said both the things, screen time and online time, I would like to say, especially between screen time and other activities, because it is not only about the online classes. Children are using screen for many other things, like we talked about, games and social media. So the need of the hour is to have an appropriate balance between online time and other activities.
Right.
And if we talk about the benefit of online classes, yes, of course, these classes can be recorded and see multiple times, by a child if he needs to. And in traditional learning, if a child would be on leave, if a child is sick, so he's definitely going to miss the whole day's learning.
Right.
While, in online classes, we have the option of recording.
Perfect. Yes.
Yes.
Ma'am, with these online classes, we have also registered a growth in cyberbullying rate as well. Cyberbullying is another growing trend among social media websites. You will be surprised to know, but there are so many hate and confession pages made by school students, which are currently
Yes.
active on different platforms, where students participate in bullying their fellow friends. Ma'am, how can we create an environment where children can realize that instead of pulling down, it's better to uplift the spirits and encourage their friends to do better? Do you think that's even possible with this generation?
Yes, everything is possible with this generation. First of all, I think children should be made aware that it is perfectly all right for them to report any online abuse that happens to them. Otherwise, children don't know whether they can report or not. So to make it possible, then again, the responsibility is ours. It is very necessary that we should provide them, opportunity to participate in training in cyberbullying prevention, to better understand it. And of course, they need to learn strategies also for addressing it. So if children are made aware of these things, it would be easy for them to use this social media. And yes, Vishakha, you talked about, creating an environment. Yes, we must create an environment of mutual respect and tolerance in the classroom.
Yes.
And here, I think another option is that we should incorporate, internet and social media in our lesson plans, where we could teach our children to to be respectful online, to be truthful online. So then things would be easy for children. Teachers, I think, should also work closely with parents to make them understand the cyberbullying. It
Right.
is definitely going to help children.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, as a school, did you run any awareness campaign to make the children understand the true potential of social media?
Yes, Vishaka, in our school, Sanskar school, we have organized many interactive sessions with help of people from IT sectors. And I would like to tell you, many of our children, who have passed out, Sanskar alumni, they have joined IT sector and the cybercrime. They have also been contacted and they have come and interacted with students, and they talked about cyberspace, hacking, security risk, and children, they took avid interest in the same. And definitely they put up queries and showed their awareness and interest in this digital world. And apart from these sessions, we held debates, speeches, poster making, um, to expose and make children aware of this potential of social media with both its pros and cons.
Right, ma'am. I think that's a wonderful job that a school can do in order to prevent all these cyberbullying things, or any kind of mishappening or misbehaving as far as behavior of children are concerned. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining in this session and sharing your insight with us. It was really an amazing session, and it is always nice to speak with you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Vishaka. Pleasure is mine. God bless you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So guys, if
Yes.
you want to more such videos, please give us a big thumbs up, do like, share and subscribe.